Hello, everyone. Welcome. I am Linda Israel, and thank you so very much for coming to my live stream here on YouTube. I greatly appreciate your support and for taking the time to come here and hang out. There are a few things that I want to go over before the actual live started, so this is a recording. First of all, I want to make sure that you like this video and subscribe, so give it a thumbs up. I greatly appreciate that. When you subscribe, make sure you hit that notification bell up in the corner. That way you'll get a notification whenever I upload a video. I have a broadcast post or even a live stream. If you're watching this video as a replay and you're on a computer, look for the little gear at the bottom. You can change the speed to speed it up. Or if you're on a mobile device, look for the little three dots and usually you can change the playback speed there. My live streams generally last about 2 hours. They can go as long as 3 hours. It kind of depends on what we're working on that day and how the feedback is in the chat. While you're watching, you earn junk bucks. So if you are here in order to get those junk bucks accumulating, go ahead and type hello in the chat and my little bot, Junkie Joe, will see you and then you'll start accruing junk bucks. And you're wondering, well, what do I do with those junk bucks? Well, you can accumulate those, and once you have 2,000 of them, you can type !award and you can redeem them for a $10 off coupon to my shop. You can earn junk bucks while you're here and when you are chatting, as well as when you play the in-chat game. So look for those as they come up, and if you make a donation. For those of you that make a donation during my live stream, make sure that you go over to my website at lindaisrael.com, and if you haven't already done so, create a user account. When you make a donation during my live stream, basically you're buying a membership to my website and to the live stream. In my opinion, what we're doing is you're accumulating that money in my account. Thank you for that donation. And as a reward, you will get 5% off your orders at lindaisrael.com. And during the live stream, if I have a journal that I'm giving away at the very end, you are eligible to win that journal. Anybody that makes a donation gets into that drawing by manually typing in the raffle at the end, but then you also get the discount membership on my website. Thank you to Robin, who is my administrator during the live stream. She helps me out with answering questions as well as giving information. She is also my administrator over at the Friendly Junk Journal People Facebook group. If you haven't joined that group, please do. We'd love to have you over there. You're welcome to share what you're working on. Speaking of sharing, during the live today, you can speak up in the chat and say, hey, I have a YouTube channel. You will not be able to share your link to your channel, but you can at least say, hey, my name is, and this is what I do. And then your friends that come into the chat can follow each other. Let's keep the chat upbeat, friendly, and helpful. If you will be kind to those that are here. If you have a question, put it in all caps and I'll do my best to answer those. The chat sometimes goes pretty fast, so I don't always see it, so do ask again. And at the same time, if you're in the chat and you know the answer to somebody's question, please speak up and give them the answer. Check the description box for links to products that I share today. Yes, I am an Amazon affiliate, which means I do get a commission on items that you purchase through my link. If you're going to buy something anyway, I greatly appreciate it. It does not cost you any extra. It just gives me a little bit of a commission, which helps me buy products to show you here. If you win one of the raffles, you can start right now by typing !raffle. Do make sure that you go over to my website, and if you haven't already created a user account, that way I will have your contact information so I can send you your prize. I am starting a raffle right now that is for 200 junk bucks, so you can get well on your way to accumulating your junk bucks. Let's have some fun today and let's get started. Thanks everybody for being here. Hello, hello, hello. How is everybody? Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm sitting here thinking I need to put my hair up, but I don't know if I have. Oh, I do. I have a hairdo, Dad. I feel like my hair is getting in my face. How is everybody? How are you doing today? I'm doing all right. We've just been staying busy around the house here. We're starting to get that cooler weather here in Oklahoma. I didn't take my mat down. I probably should have. Maybe I should. Maybe I should. But we're going to make it work, right? Been working out in the yard. If y'all didn't know this technique, I'll tell it to you. Did you know that geraniums, if you depot them, and when I mean depot, you take the plant out of the dirt, kind of shake off the excess dirt, let it sit out for a little while, and then trim off all of the flowers and any dead leaves that are on them. Then get yourself some paper sacks. Mark the paper sack on the outside, what is inside. Take your geraniums and put them in with the green part down first with the roots at the top, and then close your paper bag and then store them in a cool, dark place. I am going to wait till my husband gets home so he can help me take them down to our cellar, because I know that it won't have a lot of moisture and there won't be any sunlight. And then once a month, until I'm ready to use them, I'm going to go down and check them. If the roots seem a little dry, hey Sherry, welcome. If they seem a little dry, I'll spritz them with a little bit of water, not a lot, just enough to kind of give them a little bit of moisture, and then close them back up. And I'm going to mark my calendar a month from that day to do it again. And then when I'm ready, I'll create the spots that I want to put them, either directly in the ground or in pots, depending on the time and weather will determine where they are going to go and when, and just plant them back up again, and you'll have a jump start on those geraniums. You won't have to buy them again. I started all mine from seed, and I'm going to hopefully see how this works for me. So I have a whole bunch of paper sacks, big paper sacks that we saved on my dining room table. So when Henry comes home, he's like, what is all this? Well, this goes in the cellar. So how is everybody? You doing good? I thought I would do some gel printing. I've been playing a little bit, so I've already got some stuff on my plate. Oh, there's my nails. They're kind of a gold ombre, I guess you could say. Kind of gets dark at the tip, then gets lighter at the base. But I'm going to put prayers for Jamaica and great. Yeah, it's going bad weather-wise in Jamaica. Henry's still stalled out over it. Greater Antilles. I don't know how to say that. He's been watching the weather quite a bit. It's kind of sad. We're supposed to be going on a cruise, and I think in January we were supposed to go to Jamaica, and they may change that depending on how much damage they suffer. So I pray for all of them in the path of Hurricane Melissa. All right, so I would start with just, let's make some backgrounds, just straight applying paint to the gel plate and then picking it up. And so we'll end up with a few pieces of paper that are just random print colors, whatever. I am going to start with, I've got a bunch of brown out. I don't know why, I just decided to get the brown out. It was the basket that I pulled out, and I'd already kind of played with a little bit. I'll show you some things that I had done already. So this was a green and brown, and you probably cannot see the green in there, but there is a little bit of green and some gold. And this was just playing with one of my smaller gel plates, and I was trying to play with some texture. This one was a brown, and then I had some things that I pushed into it. And then here's another one. I was just kind of playing to see what I could do. This one was where I took my maple leaf stencil, put that down first, and then I took the stencil used for daydreaming with gold, then lifted the daydreaming stencil, applied some reddish paint, and then let that dry, and then I applied the background and pulled that. Just kind of playing around. There's complicated ways to do it, or simple ways. Hey Sheila, welcome. I've got some book pages. I've got some copy paper. I have some cardstock back there that I may use. So let's start with this. I thought, let's do some brown. So I'm going to get a couple of shades of, I think this is the same brown. Oh, this one's called Espresso. So let's keep with espresso. And then what is this one? Caramel Candy. You can use just craft paint. So I'm going to do that first. Only because I have a little bit of it. And I'm trying to use it up. Put that back over here. And you want a small amount of paint or it will be rather juicy. But I'm just going to roll that brayer. I'm using a soft rubber brayer. Right now on the screen is a 12-inch by 12-inch gel plate. You don't have to use a big one. I was fortunate enough that I got this on sale a while back. I think it was at Hobby Lobby when I got it. All right, I'm going to get a piece of cardstock. I have this, I don't know, it's called Hall Pass, but it was just some 12 by 12 paper that I've had for a long time. So I'm going to lay that down. And I know that I've got some edges, so I'm just going to use another piece of paper to kind of clean those edges. Okay, press that in. Now you can just let this sit for a while and then peel it up, or you can do it really quickly. It depends on how much paint you put down. If you put down too much paint, it'll just have this soupy texture to it. Yeah, the hurricane is awful. Henry was telling me that it was, I don't know, the winds were horrible and it was only moving at 3 miles per hour. So the winds are going really, really crazy, but it's barely moving, barely crawling. And so wherever it hits is staying for a long period of time. So it's kind of scary. Kind of scary. All right, let's see how this looks. And it also, by applying paint all over your gel plate like this and picking it up will help kind of clean your gel plate a little bit. If you didn't see my posts on social media, I didn't get all of the paint, it looks like, but I did kind of clean my gel plate a little bit with baby oil. So after you're done with your session, the one thing I do recommend, and I don't always do this, is to put down a layer of paint, much like what I did, and put paper on it and then let it sit either for a couple of hours, overnight, whatever's convenient for you, and then peel that off and then come back. And you can add baby oil to your gel plate. Just work it all into that gel plate and let it sit for a while. Again, you can let it sit for a couple hours, set it overnight, whatever works. And then you can clean that off. And if your paper had been sticking to your gel plate, it'll stop sticking because the oil will be replenished. All right, so since I still have a little bit of some texture here, I'm going to choose a different color. So I'm going to use this lighter, a couple of these lighter color. Oh, that was not good. I forgot to shake that one. Got to shake the paint first. All right, let's shake it up. Let's see what I get this time. There we go. All right. That one's gooey. Gooey, gooey, gooey. So I'm just kind of mix it together on my gel plate and then brayer over. I thought it might be good to just kind of print a few pieces of paper to use as a background. I'm going to clean off my brayer on some scraps of paper that I have here. And I'm just going to grab some copy paper this time and lay that down. And then I've got a book page that I'm going to lay. I guess I'll kind of start it at the edge. It makes interesting papers when you can layer them like this, and you get these fun little pieces. Like there's a little area there that could get some paint put on it, so I'm just going to lay that over. And then I've got this piece here, and just rub that on. Oh, it was not quite stuck down. There we go. I can use my brayer. Let's see how this one turns out. Get my paper towel out of the way. There we go. So that kind of gives a little bit more color in the corner there. And I'm just making a pile of all the pages when I roll off my brayer over to the side here, because I can use those to gel print on top of them. I also have a fan blowing on my desk, so it will help the gel plate dry if I have to leave the paint for a moment. I'm going to clean this way as well. Okay. Just getting that cleared off. I don't know if you can see the paper moving. It's because the fan's blowing on it. Lay that over here as well. Kind of a caramely color there. I think that was the color. Getting all of that off the gel plate. Okay. It just makes some interesting backgrounds that we can use later. All right, I am setting them aside to dry. They can be a little bit tacky and will stick together. Just kind of picking up any extra paint. There we go. So let's see here. I have some yellow and orange and a little bit of red. So I'm going to put a little bit of each of these, if I can get the paint open. Oh, come on. Open, open, open. Ugh. Come on. There it goes. I couldn't get the lid. That's why, because it was covered in a bunch of paint. I'm going to clean this out. That way it'll close better next time. All right, so I just want a few little dots of paint. Let's see if I can get this one open now. Oh, I don't end up with paint all over me. I wear gloves and I have an apron on trying to protect me. Oh dear. Okay. I think I may want this yellow too, so I'm just going to add a little bit. If there's any left, it may be empty. I have one more right there. All right, put the tool away. We'll get some nice spots on our gel plate. I like it. All right, let's clear this off. Okay, and yeah, we'll use some copy paper again. So I'm going to come in just a little bit from the edge so I have a good coverage all over this copy paper. Oh, I missed it. I didn't have it straight. And I'm going to flip this gel piece around and print the other side. And while we're at it, let's do, I'm going to do this one here. Okay, across the bottom. Trying to clean up some of that paint on the edges. Pretty fall colors, right? All right. So that one's got a good coating of paint on it. So I'm going to set it aside. Got a good amount there. We've got some more still on the plate, so might as well try to pick it up some. Get a little bit of that off of there. All right, let's see how this one looks. Oh, that looks pretty good. Lots of color there. Lots and lots of color. Okay, so I saw a technique that I want to try, and I'm probably being ambitious if I do it on a big gel plate, but I'm going to do it anyway. So I have some, I found this in my stash. So I have these little flowers, and I kind of wish I had bigger ones, but this is what I have. And I saw a technique where they layered paint down, and then they used the flowers and then just kind of laid them in and picked up as much of the paint as they could. What I don't have is I don't have clear gel medium. I have gel, because I'm out. I need to buy some. I have gel gloss medium, so I'm going to try that and see if I can get this to work the way I want it to work. Let's use this dark green. You know what I might do that might help me is I'm going to lay a piece of paper underneath here with the idea that I'm going to try to apply paint where the paper is so that I don't go all the way out to the edges. So I've got a little bit of this green. I'm trying not to use too much. Let's see how I do. I may need a little bit more. Okay. Trying to brayer it out into a thin coat. All right, I can see still through it. So I'm just going to take this flower and press it into the gel plate. And that's going to, oh, that just was a blob, Linda. That just looks like a blob. Let's try this again. Maybe I can do better. It would work better if I had a bigger one, I think. I don't know. Okay, I think I may have to give up, but let's try one more. I don't know, it's kind of working. It's removing the paint and leaving me a little bit of a texture. I don't know. I think I like it. It may be an unusual texture. We'll see how this works. I probably should have done it on my small gel plate. Go big or go home, people. My pedal is getting folded over. Stop that. think I need some bigger flowers, but believe it or not, I don't have a lot of silk flowers around my house. I just noticed that when I was looking for something to help me with this technique. All right, I think my paint is starting to dry. So here's what I'm going to do on the other side is I've got some mark making tools. Old spool from Thread. Going in and just kind of filling it. I know I have a smaller one. I saw it. Here it is. This smaller one. This should be an interesting look. We'll see. We'll see. I probably should have turned my fan off while I was doing the printing portion. All right, I'm trying to go around and fill all the way around. All right, it should be dry enough already. So what I'm going to do is get some of my gel medium, if I can get the jar open. It's huge. Ugh. Ugh. Come on. There it goes. It's still wet. I'm so happy that it's still wet in there. Where's my little tool? I have a tool here. All right, so I'm just going to stir it just a little bit. All right, so I'm going to get a little bit and put it on my gel plate. Hopefully that's enough because I did quite a bit there. All right, clean the brayer off. Now I'm going to come back to my first piece of paper and I'm going to lay that down on top. And we'll go ahead and grab some book pages to kind of clean up those edges. One more over here. All right, so I'm going to close up my gel medium. And I think what I want to do is give this some time to set up all the way. I'm scraping the edge off here. Okay. Keeping this. I put the little tray back in that came with this so that it doesn't dry out. That's my hope anyway. All right, so we're going to let this set for a little bit. And I have another gel plate here, so I'm just going to slide this over out of the way. And let's pick some other colors. So here's what I did earlier. I laid a stencil down and I brayered gold paint through the stencil. So since we're kind of doing that fall colors, I'm going to grab some of these. Red, I've got an orange and a yellow, so I'm just going to get a little bit of color. Come on. Try not to get too much. Okay, and a little bit of orange. This is my 8x10 gel plate. Need to clean that off. Oh, I put it in my water. There we go. Really try to blend this around. It comes out a little more orange, but that's okay. I don't want blobs sitting on the gel plate, so I'm trying to brayer those out just a little bit. Okay, clean the brayer off, and I'll grab, let's just do copy paper here. I'm thinking about getting the gel plate alignment tool so that on smaller papers, if you want to print in the same spot each time, you put this little corner piece on there, and it helps you align with your gel plate so you can get multi-prints. You print it once and then come back and you can print a different pattern over the top of it. Cleaning my brayer off, so I got another brayered paper here. All right, let's see how this looks. Trying to get that gold to stick. Oh yeah. I may leave it on there a little bit longer. Let's give it a little bit more. All right, so I'm going to slide this over here. Let that sit. Let it rest. Don't be impatient. I have a green. Apparently I have paint all over me now. I have a green that I did earlier. This is the open lattice stencil. So let's go in with, I have green. Maybe, do I want to do, let's do orange. I don't know. Green and orange, right? Put a little bit of orange on there. Hercules is sound asleep behind me. He got a haircut Saturday. He looks like a little deer. All right. Get a book page. I'll put that on top. Clean the brayer off. Okay. All right, so let's go back to this other gel plate. It should have sat long enough. If I can get my fingers under it. There we go. It comes in handy having more than one. All right, so I'm just going to peel off those edges. All right, so here is where I put texture on top of a page and use the gel medium. It probably could rest a little bit longer, but I think you get the idea. So this side was the flowers. Look at the texture. Wait, we're splashing out here. Can you see the texture that it put in there? And then using the spools of thread, empty thread holders. I think that looks pretty cool. I like it. I like it a lot. All right, so I have a brown that we did earlier, right? So we have green on the plate. So I'm going to put more green on the plate. Yes, more green on the plate. And then let's get some different mark making tools. I'm going to turn my fan away from my plate. Does that look cool? I think it would be better with bigger silk flowers. All right, so this time I have, I don't know, I've got these are like fern leaves. Let's see if they work. I took a little bit off. Let me just turn it over and do it again. Okay, I'm using it kind of like a stamp. Let's go this way. Removing paint. That's what I'm doing. All right, so that gives us a little bit of some texture. Maybe one more right here. Okay, randomness. Now, coat it with the gel medium again. Yep, trying to get the lid off. There we go. Where's my tool? Okay, put a little bit on the plate. That should be enough, but just in case. Okay, put the lid back on. I might be able to get away with not screwing it back on since I put the other piece on. Okay, clear. Oh, it lifted some of it. Let's see what happens if I put this piece down. All right, and then use this on the edges. One more up here. All right, we'll let this set for a moment. Let's go back to one of the other plates. Move my stencil out of the way. All right, so we did, yeah, this one, right? Yeah, maybe, probably. All right, let's see. That was with the orange and the yellow over the gold. That's a pretty print. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Oh, it goes over here. I'm putting it in the wrong pile. It's got to go over here. All right, so let's see. Let's do some more the yellow and red. Don't need the orange, right? You got red and you got yellow. It will make orange. Okay, it may be more yellow than I need, but we're going to do it. Briaring, briaring. I'm using the heavy body acrylic paint right now. Okay, clean the brayer off. I think I want to try another one of these techniques of where we do two prints. Do you like that with the, what did we do? We did the stencil in gold. All right, I think we can get a good pull on this one. think we can leave it a little bit longer. We had enough paint. All right, I'm just gonna let it. I'm gonna let it rest. Let it rest. Let's put that right here for now. Let's come back to this one. Ooh, look at this with the orange and the green. It made the green black. Look at that. Isn't that cool? That's a cool texture. Like it. All right, well, we have an empty gel plate. Let's do something on it, right? So one of my techniques was applying the paint through a stencil. I haven't used this one yet. I want to. I think it's from one of my stencil clubs. If you don't have some of my stencil clubs and you would like some, even though it says it's a subscription, it won't renew. You can go in and say, hey, Linda, I want March of 2020, or I want February of 22. I don't remember how long I went on those, but any of those that you want, just let me know. I'm thinking that we should put a color down. Then I want to come back and put gold because the stencil is going to block out where the paint can't go. So if I want where the flowers are to be gold, I have to do that after I print the background, right? So I'm going to pick some yellow. Try not to put too much on the plate. A little bit of red. Since this is a smaller plate, let's see how this looks. Okay. Now I'm going to remove that and I'm going to turn my fan to blow on there. So there's going to be our foundation. Put my stencil. I've got some water back here in a tub that has a little bit of thieves cleaner in it. All right, so we're going to let that, I'm going to turn my fan. Come on. Stay on there for me. It's blowing there. Okay. I got my next mop-up paper done. I may use a mop-up paper to do the pull. Let's see. Oh, I've got another. Here's one in gold. So I did the gold flowers. So let's do a red background behind it, which will kind of go with the colors that we've been using. And I need another book page or something. I've got a small one here. All right, let's get a book page, maybe this one. And I'm just going to lay that on the paint. And we'll set this aside. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Like the oranges and the reds. Okay, I'm going to set this one aside and let's go back to the 12 by 12 gel plate. Pull off the excess around the edges. Let's see how this turned out. Oh, it didn't get all of it off. All right, maybe it needs to set a little bit longer. The paper is cool to the touch, so you can kind of feel the moisture in it. So it may need a little bit more time. Yeah, it needs a little bit more time. So I'm going to set that back over here. Let's come back to the 8 by 10. Okay. Nice. It's got a nice, pretty background. It's picked up some of that gold that was on there. So what do we want to put on top of that? Do we want to do something in brown? I know I want to put gold on this one. I'm getting out my stencils again. Let's see what we want to do. That one's kind of a pretty stencil, so we would see quite a bit of the color behind. No, we would not. We would see where the... Oh, I just laid my arm in paint. It's sticking to my arm. There we go. Got it. So not that one. But this one, that would be the open spaces. This would be better. That's what we're going to go with. This is the Baroque flower stencil. Baroque flower stencil. So we'll make the inner portion a dark color. Yeah? So what do we want? Do we want it to be... I could put gold, and the gold would stand out on top of that. We do have some bits of gold already in it. But I think that might be a good look on top of the other. I keep laying my arm down on where I've brayered out. So I'm going to have little marks on my arm. All right. Let's do gold because I can do gold here. And then I'll do gold over here. And we'll be able to lift this one while this one dries. Yeah. So I'm going to grab... What do I got? I got an antique. I got antique gold. I haven't been to Hobby Lobby in a while, so next time I go, I'll have to look to see what kind of paint they have. This will be thick. I probably shouldn't have put as much on there. Learn from my mistakes. Don't use as much paint. Right. Okay. Cleaning the brayer off. All right, so I need to put a piece of paper on this 5x7 gel plate and let that rest. And then I'm going to peel the stencil off. Look at that gold. And put that in my water, which is now dirty water. All right, I'm going to let that dry for a moment. And then we'll come back with the gel medium. So let's see. This was a square one. Oh, wow. Okay. Are you ready? Are you ready for the big reveal? This was the red and the gold, metallic gold. I like it a lot. Isn't that pretty? Now, the gold's been sitting on there for a while because, like I said, I did it before we started the live stream, so it would be prepared. But I like how that looks. Nice. Yummy. Fun, fun, fun. All right, all right, all right. So what do we want to do on here now? I think we need to do more gold and other colors, right? I'm looking for another fun stencil. Oh, this one is called my Quilted Starburst. And I think that would give a pretty background, especially if we did the gold again on it. And let that dry for a moment. And then we can come back with a different color on top of the gold. And basically this is what they call a one pull, because you're layering the stencil, you're giving it a moment to dry, and then you apply another coat of paint and put your paper down, or fabric if you want to do fabric. Okay, now I'm going to peel that off and let that dry. Put my stencil back over here. All right, let's set that there for a moment, and let's bring back this big gel plate. Really trying to get that to pick up all the paint. Well, it left some of it. So that didn't come out the way that I wanted, but you know what? It's a foundation to do something else with it. Maybe we can come back with a different pattern on top. So I'm going to lay that over here to dry. And since I have a lot of color on my plate now, that was green. Let's do some orange just because I have it here. And maybe a little bit of red. So we'll brayer that around. What'll happen is it'll be a little bit mottled or speckled with that green when I go to pick it up. You like it? Like it? All right, clean the brayer. And let's get a piece of copy paper. And I'm going to lay that in here. And let's see. Oop. Use my brayer papers to come in and clearing the edges off. It gives some neat texture to those papers that you can come back and you can do more stenciling on top of them. I can stamp on them, cut them up, use them in other pieces. Do this one. Give that a moment to pick up the color. All right, so while that's working, let's see, let's come back to this one. This is my 5x7 again. Let's see if it's ready. Oh yeah, that's ready. So that was some red and orange together over the gold. So we put the gold on the back side and that lifted the whole thing, which gives the background, the red gold, a little bit of a metallic look to it when it picks up. I like it. Yeah, we had some other colors on there, but it's pretty clean now. Okay. Move that back there. I'm trying to decide what to do with that big green one. Okay. I'm still waiting on the gel plate for the gold to dry so that we can print it onto this one. So let's pick a different stencil, right? I have a few, just a few. This is the waffle flower stencil. so let's lay that down. And we could do another red, since we're kind of staying in that red, orange, yellow. So I'm going to add a little bit of orange. Okay. And a tiny bit of red in that corner. And let's do the yellow down here. Okay. I got to turn my mop-up paper so I can use them to brayer upon. Okay. All right, so I want to do yellow here and kind of blend with the orange and then do the red. And I have way too much paint. Too much red. Okay. So now I'll peel that off. And let's let that dry. I think that'll look cool with the gold on it as well. All right, so let's move that back over here. This one should be dry enough now. Yep, it's not sticking to my fingers. So I'm going to get my gel medium back out and my tool that I threw in my dirty water. Use my old dish towel. All my old dish towels end up in my craft room. I don't throw them away. So this one has holes in it. I think it got eaten by the washing machine or something. And so I just move it to a new location in my craft room so it gets another life. Now let's put down a little bit there. Okay. I guess I can get away with not using the liquid gel medium by using this creamier stuff. We have, let's see if we got enough paint. I have, and I don't know if I'm going to do it or not, but I may do it on one of my small gel plates. I have some gold leaf that I am thinking about using on a gel plate. I saw a technique. I don't know how well it's going to work, and I don't want to ruin a gel plate. I guess you don't really ruin it. You just have to set it aside to clean itself when you press a bunch of paint on top of it. All right. If you didn't know, I have a glass mat under my 8x10. It was an EK Success thing. It used to have a grid on it, but I would clean it and it came off. So it works great for holding my gel plate. For my 12x12, I have a quilter's ruler on the back of it. And this is the back side, of course, but it is a quilter's ruler that I had because of quilting. And it's so big, it didn't use it that much for quilting, but I figured it didn't hurt. It gets a little bit of paint on it. I can use it in my craft. If I need another one, I'll go buy another one. I looked at acrylic or glass cutting mats on Amazon. That seemed a little bit expensive to me, so I may keep an eye out next time I go to a thrift store to see if they have glass cutting mats. Usually they break, and so people don't donate them, but you never know what you might find. Let's get some good colors. Lots of texture, bits and pieces on there. All right, let's see how this works. It's okay if it wrinkles up like that. It's just taking all that moisture, and so it'll wrinkle a little bit. All right, I'm going to peel it up. Oh, this one's a cool background with that dark green and the orange and the red in there. That's a cool color combo. Or warm, actually. All right, so we got some neat backgrounds. What do we want to do? I think something gold on top of, do we want to do something gold on this? I think gold. All right. So let's pick yet another stencil. I know, I like my stencils. I have a bunch. Let's see. What do we have here? Let's do this one. I wanted to do it earlier. No, that's not what I want to do. If I do this one, it'll make the flowers all gold, and then the background would be this behind it. So let's do that. Gold. All right, let's do that. I think I should get it a little bit straighter with the edge. Come here. Get off of there. There. All right. Now with this one, since I'm not going to put more color, what I'm going to do is stencil it. Clean my brayer quickly and then remove the stencil and quickly get my piece of paper and try to line it up as best I can. Okay, there we go. Now that gold will be lifted onto that background that we were kind of like, that's not the perfect background, but it'll work great for what we're doing, right? Really trying to smooth it out. If you want a pristine white background, put other paper on top of your paper that you put down on your gel plate before you start pressing it. It needs a little bit longer. All right, so we'll leave that longer. Come back over here. Let's see how this one turned out. Is it going to work? I think we can leave it a little bit longer too. All right, let's go back to this one. So we got this one, and we're going to do gold on top of it. Yes, gold. And then I can bring back over my square stenciled, the starburst, quilted star. It's been a while since I've gel printed, if y'all didn't know. And so I am trying to get back into the rhythm of it, because there is a rhythm to figuring out how much paint do you use to get back into the habit of how to do the layers. Okay, enjoy your dinner cooking. You've been working on journal elements. Hands were busy, I understand. All right, let's get that one going. All right, let's set this one aside. And let's come back to the square. This was a stamp positioning block. Stamp block that I'm using. We did gold and red earlier. Let's do an orange. See if that's enough. Yeah, that's going to be enough. Okay. Cleaning off my little tool that I use so I can use it again. All right, we need a scrap of paper or a book page. I'm going to do a book page on this one. Having the different size gel plates too gives you an opportunity to have different sizes of prints, because what happens to me is I get a print and I'm like, oh, that's too pretty to use. But if it's smaller, I can cut it up or use it with other pieces. I don't know, it's just the way my brain works, I guess. All right, that's getting some loving. So let's put that over here, and we'll put this one on top of it. Let's see if this one is better now. It's been sitting for so long. That looks pretty cool. It lifted the gold a little bit, but I think it's just kind of smoothing it down. I could see the gold paint is lifting up, but it's a neat technique in there. I don't know if y'all can see that. It didn't get all the paint off, but it got quite a bit. And that was the, what did we do? We did the stencil, and then we did the gold and the red, the gold, gosh, I can't get my words out. I made a background earlier, and then I transferred the gold on top of that background. So what do we want to put on this one? That may be what we kind of think about next. I've got some gold on here. I think I want to make some more just random papers. Should we switch colors a little bit? I've got a couple of blues. Let's do some blues over that gold with a little bit of red. You're not leaving yet. She's not leaving yet. Sheila's not leaving. She's still here. She's listening. What's for dinner, Sheila? I don't know what we're having for dinner tonight. Generally, Henry and I kind of plan ahead, so we kind of know what we're going to eat, but we hadn't discussed about tonight. We ate out last night in that we ordered food and brought it home. Or Henry did, actually. I stayed here. He asked me if I wanted to go, and I was like, nah, I'm okay. I don't need to go. All right. This one looks pretty good. So this is my brayer paper that I'm laying over here. It's got another piece of paper stuck to it. Dang it. So it's the brayer paper. Let's get another brayer paper. Clean off the brayer. And let's do, let me do a book page. Wait, not that size. A bigger one. Yes. No. Well, yeah, let's just do that. It should cover it pretty good. Sometimes just playing. Hodgepodge trying to clear out the fridge. About 4 different things to choose from. Good job. One of our customers brought us lunch a few weeks ago. And it was from a Hawaiian place. It was bourbon chicken, white rice, Hawaiian macaroni salad, sliced avocado, and a slice of pineapple. And I believe the pineapple was cooked because it was warm. And it was so tasty. I said, you know what, Henry, we need to see if we can find a recipe to do that at home. So I found a recipe to be able to make the chicken in our Instapot. So the longest process of it is chopping up that chicken into little pieces. But once I have the chicken done, you add things like fresh ginger, and I added soy sauce, and what else was there? Soy sauce, ginger, ketchup of all things, uh, vinegar, and then salt and pepper, and I think there was something else. I can't remember right off the top of my head. And then you cook it for 3 minutes on high, and then you release it, and you remove the chicken but leave the sauce at the bottom of the pan, and you add some cornstarch and water to get it thicker, a little bit more. And then once there's a good gravy or sauce in your pan that's pretty thick, you can then put the chicken back in, which will warm it back up a little bit, and then serve it with rice. And we made macaroni, Hawaiian macaroni salad from scratch too. And that was really tasty. You have to make it several hours in advance so it can be cooling in the refrigerator. And the recipe stated to make it the day before. That's even better. And it uses real Hellmann's mayonnaise. Nothing else can be substituted. It has to be real Hellmann's mayonnaise. I thought that was pretty funny because that was in the recipe. Oh, there's still a little bit of blue on there. And it picked up the gold bits. So it's a nice little background piece that I can use. Ooh, I like it. Had to change colors. All right, let's do, since we still have a little bit of blue on there, this time I'm going to add some blue. And I think I'm going to use some texture making tools. Try to, at least, quickly. And see how this works. I think my darker blue paint is older, and so it is a little bit drier, and that's why it wasn't lifting as well as this lighter blue. Okay. So I have some mark making tools over here. Let's see what we have. You know, I like the spools. What else do I have? I have a shot glass. Oh, I have this. This is a pool noodle. I may like that one the best. That's kind of cool. All right. I don't need any other. I think that was what I needed right there. Clean off my... I'm going to let this dry, and we'll come back and we'll put maybe gold on it. I don't know. I'm thinking gold. All right. Over here with you. This in here. This one looks pretty good too. All right. This has been sitting here a while now, so let's see how it peels back. I think I could have left it several hours, but it's got a real grungy look to it. You see how grungy that looks? Some debris on there. I don't know, kind of grungy. It may not be the perfect thing, but it might be great to layer some other stuff on top of it. You like the gold, right? Gold! There be gold! All right, so there's still some gold on this gel plate. And I like this color of teal, so I'm going to come back with it and brayer that. And I need to clean my brayer off again. And I need some copy paper. So kind of go right about here. And let's do some edge cleanup. Okay, gonna lay on there. Lay that there. And let's get another big book page. One more. Okay. Alrighty. Let that set for a moment and let's come back to these. You like it, like it, like it. Oh, this one. This was the waffle flower. And I used gold in the background of the orange and the yellow, orange up into the red. That looks really cool. It's got a neat ombre, I guess, effect almost. Neat, neat, neat. Okay. We're making more. All right. So it's only 5 o'clock. How much more gel print do you want? I'm stuck on gold for some reason. Maybe we should switch. I'm going to do, I've got some silver here. And maybe do some blue behind it. That darker blue that is not always the best, but this might work. I'm going to do Feeding Frenzy. Feeding Frenzy. I'll put that on here and then do the silver, and then we'll do the blue and pull it because it'll be a darker blue. Okay. So a little bit of blue still on my brayer, but that's okay. Am I off the... Okay, there it is. I was like, how far am I going here? All right, clean the brayer. Okay, peel that off. That'll be a good print. All right, we'll set this aside. Let that dry. I forgot what we did here. Oh yeah, this is the quilted starburst on the orange background. I think that looks pretty good too. You use that stencil all the time. You like that one? It's one of my favorite, the Feeding Frenzy. I just love the pattern that it has in it. I like how this one came out. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Alrighty. So we've kind of transitioned into the blues a little bit. I may not do anything with that other gel print with the green. Sometimes if it doesn't feel right, you don't have to keep doing it. Move on to something else. I'm going to see if I have another tube of blue. I have this. Is this the same blue? No, this is ultramarine, and the one is something Prathylvane blue. It's got a weird name. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Bonnie. Okay, so do I want to do silver again? Might as well. Let's see what other stencil I have laying here. Oh, I like this one too. It's kind of fun. It's Victorian cross stitch flowers, and it's a bigger pattern. So I'm going to kind of offset it a little bit. And let's do the silver, and then we can do blue to pick it up. Oh, come on. It'll pick up some of the crusty bits on the stencil too. On the gel plate, I meant. All right. Let this dry. And I think we can come back to the blue maybe, or the one with the pool noodle. I'm going to set this over here to dry. Let's see how this one's doing. Getting crusty bits. Crusty bits. Okay. Pull the pieces away. Got a little bit on that one, yes. Oh, there's so much blue paint, but that's okay. It's picked up quite a bit of that gold that was still on there. That looks pretty good. I'm going to see if I can pick up a little bit in this corner. It's getting there, a little at a time. All right, there was a little bit of wetness left into it. And I think I'm going to do this to help pick up any excess paint. I should have turned that over, but that's okay. And it's okay, you get those crusty bits on there and it makes kind of fun pattern and backgrounds. But I don't want too much. All right, good. Let's get some good. You know, I haven't done a lot of green. I have fewer tubes of green. I'm looking to see what else I have here. Let's see. You know, why not? It'll have blue. So I'm going to use this green, which is leaf green. It was Anita's Craft Paint, which used to be sold by Hobby Lobby, but they don't sell it anymore. They have their own brand. Oh, come on. I thought I shook it enough. Shake it up, baby, now. I may have paint boogers. Yes, that's exactly what we have. Paint boogers. I'm removing the paint booger. Get an old paper towel here. Let's shake some more. Be a little bit vigorous. My watch is going to be saying, "Are you running?" Nope, not this gal. I always put too much paint. All right, let's just go all the way out to the edge. All the way to the edge. Clean my brayer off. And then copy paper. Oh, last piece of copy paper. I'm going to have to get some more out. All right, so I'm going to lay this down. Yeah, probably right there. And then, oh, let's get book page or two. So I'm going to put one here. One over here. One over here. One over here. And pick this up and see what we get. All right, we're letting that sit for a moment. So while that's sitting, let's come over here to my 8x10 plate, and we're going to get some copy paper while I'm thinking about it. My mother-in-law gave me a whole ream of copy paper. It's in another spot though, of course. So I'll have to get it out and start using it too. All right, I'm going to move this. Oop! Move this out of the way. This jar is ridiculously huge. And I can't get the lid back on. All right, we'll just set it over here for now. Okay. Silver paint, here we come. I'll leave a book page over here to brayer out on. Got to get a good coat of the paint. All right, don't want to over brayer it because it will lift the paint. All right, so I'm going to lay down a copy paper. Rub it in all around. All right, so we're just progressively going smaller. So here's my next template. So I got my 12x12 on the bottom, my 8x10, and this is my 5x7. And I went and got different shades of blue. So what do we have here? Let's use this ultramarine, and I've got lake blue. Yeah, let's make sure it's going to squeeze out. Okay. Got to pull off the glue bit. Try not to get too much paint. Oop. All right, that should be enough. All right. Kind of blending it together a little bit. Clean the brayer. All right, and that's a book page size. I've got one here. Do that one. Rub it in, rub it in. I don't know if that really is a commercial. We may have to, hey Alexa, what is the rub it in commercial?
From dictionary.com. Rub it in, to emphasize or reiterate something unpleasant in order to tease or annoy.
Alexa off. What was the commercial that had rub it in, rub it in? Alexa, what was the commercial that had rub it in, rub it in?
From Tallahassee.com. Songwriting great Len Martin Jr. wrote the suntan lotion inspired Rub It In 1971 and had decent success with it before summer turned to fall.
Suntan lotion. That makes sense. Rub it in. In my case, it would be sunscreen. All right, we're letting that go in there. All right, let's get rid of this one. And then we have this silver. And I've got a different shade of blue. This one's called cobalt blue. I think we'll just use cobalt only. I don't think it needs... I do need a book page. So I'm getting that ready. Oh, I got hiccups. Okay. The things we think about, right? All right, that looks like it's got a good coating. Now I'm going to put my book page on there. Press, rub it in, rub it in. Oh, is Absorbing Junior. Is that the name of the sunscreen? I would have never remembered that. Okay, so we're going to push this one over here. And then this one's going to go over here. And we got to pull the 8x10 out of the way. And now we're back to the 12x12. It's been resting for a while now. Oh yeah, it had green on it. So we got lots of little cleanup pieces. A little bit right there. Let's see if I can get it to transfer. Probably not, but that's okay. It's got a little bit on the edge there. Let's see how this cleaned up the gel plate. What a fun, just background again that we can use. Cleaned up the gel plate. Pretty good. There's a little bit left on there. Should we do some more green? I think I saw another green tube. Let me look over here. Oh, this shade of green. I got this shade of green, that shade of green, and then I have a really dark green. Pathlo green? Pathalo? This one's called light olive green, and this one's called emerald green. That does not look like an emerald to me. Plug it in is the Glide plug-in jingle. Yes, that's another one, Amanda. Yeah. Plug it in. But it was also rub it in. We found it was for a Absorbing Junior. And I think I just want to make a background. Don't really care about putting texture in it. I do not know if this is going to open. I may need, I don't know if these pliers will do it. Nope, they will not. That's the bad thing about these tops that that don't flip open. All right, that may be another day. I wonder. Nope, it's a different size. I may have to remove the lid and put it into. I've got some travel bottles. I may put it into some travel liquid bottles that I have, and then I can use up that paint. All right, so I've got this shade of green. Maybe I'll add some blue to it as well. Maybe this, where is it? This darker blue. Kind of add it on top of the other. All right, so maybe we can mix it up a little bit. I'm kind of moving the paint around a little bit with my palette knife first, and now I'm going to come back and see how this acts. Don't want to over blend it. It should have these pretty good blue and green kind of petals. Just smoothing out the back. All right, let's get some copy paper. Oh, drop it. Let's put that right here. And I'm going to grab some more book pages so I can pick up all that excess paint. Put down here in the corner. All right. What now? Oh, it was from some old green stinky stuff? Oh, it wasn't sunscreen. I thought it was sunscreen. Okay, gotcha. Old green. So it was probably some kind of ointment. I thought it was for sunscreen because when I asked the lady in the box, that's what she said. Or I just misheard it. I guess I'll have to find out when I play back this video and watch that point. All right, let's see what we got here. I may need to, yeah, let's let that rest. Let it rest. So set that over here out of the way for a moment. And we need to go in reverse order. We need the 8x10 now. Is that right? I think that's what we were doing. It should be pretty picked up now since it's got the wrinkles going on. Well, have you had fun today with just me randomly doing some gel printing? Just playing around. Ooh, this one's cool. With the silver, I could see I also have done that in maybe a green. That would be kind of cool too, instead of doing the silver with the pool noodle. That's cool. I'll lay this to dry out a little bit. There was a sunscreen jingle that used... Okay, I thought so. Yep. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, so we're getting some cool prints. I have 3 to pull. I could do one more, maybe getting it ready because we've got to wait on that one to dry. We did a little bit of green. You know what? Let's go ahead and do another one with the pool noodle. And I think I want to use this shade of green when we go to pick it up. So what color do we want on the bottom? Probably this, that was the most of the last one, but I could use a darker blue just by itself. So maybe that's what we'll do. All right, so I need to turn the fan away for a moment. Stay there. And then we're going to put down some of this blue and really brayer that around. And there'll be some crusty bits too that'll get picked up. All right, that looks pretty good coating wise. So I'm going to get my pool needle and press it. I'm pressing it pretty hard into the gel plate so that it'll pick up some of that paint. I'm going to offset it a little bit. I'm going to turn it over and get the other side. I could also twist it a little bit. I'm going to wipe it off over here to the side. Okay. And let's go here, and there, and flipping it over. Flipping it over, clean it off over here to the side. And let's go here, there, there. I think I got it. Yeah, that'll get some neat texture, especially when we put the green on top of it. Muscle ointment. That's what it was. Muscle ointment. All right. So let's set this one back here. And can clean up a little bit. So we need the 5x7 now. So let's look at this one. Because I put the 12x12 over there. Ooh, look at this one. This is the Feeding Frenzy. It didn't get all the paint up, but it got a pretty good amount. I think that blue paint is just, it's not quite the same consistency as the other, but I still like the way it turned out. It looks good. So, I've got the green out here. I'm going to put some green on here. And let's brayer that out. It'll be handy to have a little bit of some green paper. All right, I just cleaned off my brayer, so I'll have that piece, and then we will have this piece, and that'll clean the gel plate off. All right, let's set this aside, and let's come back to the little square one, which I can't remember what size it is. I guess I should get a ruler out. It is 5x5. I think it was one of the first ones I got, because that's what the local craft store, Hobby Lobby, I had back when I first started gel printing. You like the grungy imperfections? Yeah. Sometimes those just make them so much more fun because of the grunginess of it. Ooh, look at that. I like it. It has a little bit of the grunginess on the edges, but not too much. All right, so that one's clean. And we did a different shade of green. Let's do the emerald green on this one. And maybe some more texture. Especially since I just put a lot of paint on here. All right, let's get a book page to brayer. This is not emerald green to me. I don't think of emerald green being this almost neon in color. All right, so we did the pool noodle. Thinking maybe I've got a shot glass. Oh, I've got a bottle cap and a shot glass and a old empty spool. So do we want to do big pieces? Let's do that. Let's do this. Oh, that was really juicy. Really juicy. It's not taking up any of the paint. So let's do this. We're going to rub it. Rub it. I may have to go do something else. But maybe we'll just do this a little bit all over. Now, let's go in with this bigger one. So it'll end up with quite a bit of texture. Lots of circles. All right, let's let that dry. And we'll get, let's go to the 12 by 12. Yeah, I think that's the right one. Gotta clean my bottle cap off. Now my fingers are all painty. Yes, they are. I'm gonna dip it in the water, clean them off a little bit. Okay. Alrighty, let's do the 12 by 12. And let's peel it away. I guess this one still had stickiness on it. Well, it'll give it some neat texture later. Okay, cleaned off edges. Let's see what kind of grunginess we get this time. Ooh, fun. Look at that. Some nice grungy color to it. I like it. I like it a lot. But I'm easy like that, right? I should have taped my work surface coating down. Everything keeps sliding around on me. All right. So I still have some papers here that I can use. I don't know if I'm going to get to this one again. So let's go ahead and put something on it. We did the green. So this is a Viridian. It's kind of a turquoisey, pale turquoise. Let's do a darker turquoise with it. And maybe a little bit of the emerald green and see what kind of background we get. I'm going to do the whole gel plate. And I may get out some cardstock. That way it'll really soak up all that paint. All right. Get some cardstock. This was some that I bought when Tuesday Morning was in business. So I've been trying to use it up. But it's not the prettiest paper all by itself. You know, it needs a little help. All right, so we'll put that on the edges. Put this one over here. You like it? Hey, Beverly, welcome. How are you, lady? All right, we're going to let that soak for a minute, and that'll probably be the last thing we pull when I get off here. In just a few minutes, we're getting there. All right, I think this one we can pull now. Oh, that's fun. Just cleaning off the gel plate. And it gives us a little bit of some texture over the book page. And again, you know, I could stamp on this later. I could use a stencil and stencil over the top of it. I could use this as a foundation to gel print again. And I've got this one that I used to mop up with. So it kind of goes together. Set that over there. And I think we're going to come back to the blue. Oh, there's a crusty bit that fell. All right, we got it off. Oh, because it stopped your notifications? Oh, well, good. Yeah, well, make sure you hit the bell so you get the notifications, y'all. That way you know when I'm live. I'll be recording, finishing up the autumn journal that I started last week. So I've got it set aside so that I can finish putting it together, and I'll do a video for that, and that's what I'll share when I go on vacation, which will be the second week of October is when I'll be gone. Not October, November, I meant. I don't know what I'm going to do next week. If you want me to continue with gel printing, or if you want me to make something with the gel prints, let me know, and I will see what I can do. Yeah, I miss Tuesday morning. I look at Ollie's because they have also picked up some craft supplies, but I don't like the way it's all just kind of like on a pallet table, and it's not very easy to see what they have, and it's just a whole box of the same item, and it's like, well, I don't want any of that. That's why you guys got it. You always have my bell on? Happened to on another channel? Yeah, it's like, come on, YouTube, do better. All right, we're letting that soak, right? Yeah, we gotta let that soak a little bit. Let it soak. And I'm not sure if this one is dry yet, so let's test it. It's still wet. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna turn my fan. I got a little fan right here, and I turn my fan on that so it can get some air on it so it'll dry. And let's come back to the big. I thought we were going to do that last, but we're not. It looks like it's lifting up the paint. Okay. Okay. Got a little bit of paint still on the edges, but that's okay. Fun. Nice bright color. Still a little bit on the gel plate. I could have left it on longer. So let's what do we want? Let's do not that light of a color. I'm going to do this darker blue. It's getting old. I can tell that it's almost empty. To this other shade. I'm going to cobalt blue here. Okay. Kind of clean that off. Brayer it. Go all over. Oh, I'm so sorry that you're having problems, Beverly, with your fibromyalgia. It's no fun. We'll keep you in our prayers. Keep Beverly in your prayers, everybody, and anyone else too. That I know that Robin was having some difficult medical issues. I haven't talked to her in a couple of days, so I need to send her a message and say, "All right, what's the update? You left me hanging." See what she has to say. We all have our issues, I think, or ailments, or things we have to put up with in life. One more. Yeah, so glad you could catch up. You're very welcome. You're very, very welcome. All right, trying to get that on there again. Over here on the side. You are very welcome. We got to pray for each other. We got to think for each, think of each other. Good vibes. All right, I'm gonna let this sit a little while. Let's pull the 8x10. That was with the pool noodle, and I put the green and blue together, right? See how this come out. Yeah. Oh, thank you for being here, Joseph. Well, I understand, sir. I hope that you feel better, Joseph. Welcome. So glad you're here. It's no fun. Henry doesn't have fibromyalgia, but he kind of, I think, has a little bit of carpal tunnel going on because of all day long he's hooping clothes. So he's doing this pressure down. And he said he couldn't put his contacts in because he couldn't feel his hand to be able to get the contact on his line. I'm like, oh my gosh, you poor thing. All right, let's see how this came out. Oh, I could leave it on longer. I think I may do that. Sorry. Psych. I'm going to let it stay. I may even leave it on all night. Because you can kind of see the green, but there's still blue on the gel plate. So let's leave it. All right, let's see if this is drier. It's still pretty wet. It's still pretty wet. You know what we can do, though? We can go back and look at all the things that I made today. And maybe by the end, that one will be ready. This one, I don't know if I want to peel it yet or wait. Oh, that looks pretty good. It cleaned up the gel plate quite a bit. There's a little spot right there. Let's see if I can line it back up and get it to release. Oh, I got it pretty good. It gives a little bit of texture in there. So that was a cleaning up the gel plate type of a print. I'll leave that there for a moment and let the fan blow on it. And let's see. Let's come back over here. Here was another one where we kind of cleaned up the gel plate. I don't want to stack these because this one's still sticky. So I'll put it over here. You stay! But I can come back to the pile here. So this was just, cleaning off the gel plate a little bit. Here's another, just kind of adding color. Doing the silver first and then the blue. Again, doing the silver first and then the blue. And this was, I had some gold still on the gel plate. Thank you, Joseph. Thank you. Oh, he hasn't tried the gloves yet to help wear when working, the ones with the metal. Yeah, he had used, because I was diagnosed with carpal tunnel years ago, and he has borrowed one of my braces that you sleep with at night, but he hasn't used it in a while. I have to ask him about it again. All right, so here we did the pool noodle in the blue, and then let that dry, and we did silver on top and pulled it. So we got that cool texture. Here's another cleaning up the gel plate. This was using the craft paint to pick up some of the acrylic gel, the acrylic heavy body, I guess is what I would call it, artist grade. And this may not be my favorite background, but it might be something that I come back on later and add another pattern over the top. Thank you so much, Beverly. Thank you so much, Joseph. So this one is the gold on the gel plate first, and then the orange, and that was the quilted starburst. So this again was put the stencil on, did the red, orange, and yellow, pulled the stencil away, did the gold, and that went into where the stencil void was and gave us that one. And this was doing gold over the dirty background that I made earlier. Is what I'm going to call it. It's kind of a green and brown background. I like this one too because it picked up all those gold bits. So it's kind of fun to have a little bit of debris or grunge on your plate. And this one turned out cool with the gold over the top of the yellow, orange, red background. Here's another where we did the background, which was the red, and then pulled the stencil and put the gold down and pulled the print. And this is using the little daisy stencil. I think that's correct. Did the gold first and then the red on top of it. Here I put down some dark green and then put orange over it to lift it. The green was done through the, I keep thinking it's open lattice stencil. And this is from one of my stencil clubs with the gold down first and then the red on top, red orange. And this was not a perfect gel print, but I learned something. I learned that I should probably make sure my fan is not pointed at my gel plate, number one. Number two, you want a wet paint so that it doesn't dry before you get to the other side of it. And I probably want a bigger flower than what I used here because this flower was too small for the size of this. Now I could have used different sizes of flowers. Maybe if I had a variety of like 3 or 4 sizes, and then you could use the smaller one to fill in. I don't know what I'm doing with that flower. I'm just playing with it. And this was cleaning off my gel plate again. I'm missing some. And these were some that I made before the live that were, I would call it complicated. Joseph, I will use these to make junk journal elements, whether it be a page, a pocket, a journal card, a altered paper clip, that kind of stuff. And that's probably what I could do next week is do a tutorial where I show how to use some of these. Here's some of the browns I made earlier. Using, you know, the spools of thread and the pull needle. That kind of gives a different texture there. And then this was using gold paint and then doing the brown on the back side of it. All right, let's see if, put that one over here. Oh, I already did that one. Okay, this one. Is this one wet? Oh yeah, it's still really wet because I just stuck my finger in it. Oh wait, maybe I think it's almost there. So I'm going to move these out of the way. Lay that here. Let's put this here. And I think I want this green. And I want a book page. Got one right here. Turn this. Yeah, that's the way I want it. Just to go over that. And I've got me a brayer page. So get that ready. Get my brayer out. Let's do this one. Yeah, making greeting cards, artist trading cards, all kinds of stuff. Gotta hold flashlight. Oh my goodness. I'll have a great week. Thank you so much, Sheila, for being here. You can make greeting cards. Yeah. There'll be great backgrounds. You can rubber stamp an image over the top of it, or maybe you rubber stamp an image on another piece of paper and layer it over it. All right, let's put this. Hey, how are you, Michelle? Welcome. All right, so I'm just going to lay that over it. Welcome, welcome. You're home from Florida this afternoon. Did you fly in? Are your arms tired? All right, let's put this over here. And I probably won't be able to peel this one, but we'll test it. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's session. If you want me to, next week we'll make some things with the gel prints. Maybe not these all gel prints, but some of these. Oh, this one's going to be cool. So this was using the dark blue and then the lighter green. And I know we're getting a shine here, so I'll pick it up just a little bit. But I think that would be a fun background. Make a journal card. In my case, I could make a greeting card. I hope you like seeing the mess today. Well, I'll pull this one later and I'll share it after it's ready to go. Take my gloves off. Hey, let's pick a winner for a 200 junk bucks. Just type !point raffle. You've tried gel printing? Yes, with ink pads. Exactly. You could do it with ink pads. There's you can do it with oil pastels. You can do it with gelatos. There's a lot of things you can use. I flew. Oh, yeah, I'm glad you got the journal. Yeah, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. Time to get a drink. Well, I've made a mess. I don't know if y'all can see over here, but I've got tubs of paint and tools and papers all down. I'll have to do some more gel printing. I just have so much fun seeing what I can make, right? All right, did y'all get in the raffle? I saw Michelle got in. And I'm going to give you, come on, get in there. Type !point raffle. You're going to get 200 junk bucks. What are junk bucks? Just something to play with when you come here to visit with me. Oh, I need to send out a coupon to somebody, don't I? I wonder if I wrote it down. I think it was Bonnie. It is. It's Bonnie. Okay, I gotta put this where I can remember it. Let's put it on my water. All right, let's see. Everybody in the raffle now? Giveaway. All right, Beverly's in. Bonnie's in. Call me Glitter. Bonnie's on your other account. You're on both accounts, Connie. Bonnie, yes, I'm sorry, I forgot. I've got it over here now with my water, so when I go in the other room and sit down, I can get it done. All right. Giveaway. Well, thank y'all for being here today. Let's pick a winner. All right, Daisies and Grace Bonnie. Let me find you. Okay, currency. Daisy. There you are. You'll get them on your other account, so then you'll have them in both places. Draw again. It's okay, Bonnie. We'll combine them next time. That's funny. Alrighty, everybody. Well, I'm going to get off here in just a moment. Thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out with me. I hope you're inspired to play around with some mixed media. Do some gel printing if you have a gel plate. If not, you might consider next time you see one on sale, picking one up. How's this looking? Oh, this is going to look pretty good, I think. Let that dry. You know, be kind to those that are out there. You never know what someone else is going through, just as we've talked to Joseph and I forgot. My mind just went blank. Where did it go? Oh, here it is. It was Beverly. Yeah, Beverly, you're the one that was saying you were having some rheumatoid arthritis. So, you know, you never know if someone's going through something. Be kind and say kind things to them. And, of course, you know, let's lift each other up. Be friends and fellowship with each other. Just taking care of each other so often. Do something creative this week if you haven't already. Get it out. Get your stuff out. Play around in your stash of supplies and make something. And if you haven't already, go over to the Friendly Junk Journal People Facebook group and share what you're working on. We'd love to see it. You can post a picture or just tell us about what's going on so we can see. I like the way these fallish colors came together. I think it'll be fun to make something out of those. And again, thank you so much for being here and being a part of my live stream by hanging out with me and chatting while I work on whatever it is. I hope you have an amazing week and know that you are loved and I care about you, and I hope that you are blessed beyond measure this next week. Thank you again so much for being here. I'm going to get off here before I ramble on forever and ever. Bye, everybody.